Good morning. And yes, it actually is morning. It's about 8 o'clock and we are stuck in a thunderstorm at the moment. It's raining. Yeah, pretty much started as soon as we set out from the shelter this morning. Luckily, we've already finished Saddleback Mountain, so we're not having to do this in an exposed alpine zone. So it's a little bit more comforting. Still doesn't mean it's great though. So today, I'm not really bothering with a raincoat. I'm just expecting to get drenched at all possible opportunities today because in addition to the rain, we also have multiple stream crossings. And one of the streams in particular, people were saying is like thigh to waist deep. So as a short person, who knows how that's gonna go. Yeah. But luckily tomorrow we have plans to get to a hostel. So we're aiming for 14 miles today, 7 miles tomorrow, to get into the hostel. Yeah, it's the Hostel of Maine. It's meant to be one of the best ones on trail. So we just really wanted to experience that. So fingers crossed we can get there safely. Today's also exciting because at some point today we will be crossing the 2,000 mile marker, which I don't know, I can't quite put into words how crazy that is. I think if I think about it too much, it will completely overwhelm me. So let's just leave it at that for now. But yeah, I'm gonna keep walking. Wish us luck today.
What a day, my heart is full of butterflies. There's no disguising how I feel whenever I'm with you. I've waited till the moment's right to look into those starry eyes and say the words that I'm thinking all the time. Let's start again, but money this time I'll have you and you'll have me and we can go wherever we want to.
Okay, so these are not tears of my fear of heights. These are very different tears.
Have they been replaced after that little climb?
Yeah, that was a brutal climb. But we've literally just hit the 2,000 mile marker. So we just had a little moment to ourselves and just had a little cry, basically. I really can't believe it. I feel like we were just at 1,000.
I can't believe, yeah. It felt like it took so long to get to 1,000, and 1,000 feels like like a few weeks ago. Even though it was like 3 months ago. Yeah.
But yeah, I say this again every time we hit every milestone, but like I'm just so insanely proud of us. And this isn't the end, but this is a huge, huge accomplishment. Never thought I'd walk that far. So, yeah, I'm just, it's a lot of emotions. Especially as we're coming to the end. Is there anything else you want to say?
No, I'm proud of you.
No. Can't believe it.
Yeah. Love you.
Love you.
Our friends and family light our pathway with smiles.
Good morning. Don't mind me, I just woke up. Yeah, I had a really good night's sleep at the campsite last night. I'm right next to like a little stream, and we're right next to the big river crossing that we had to do. So there's a lot of like white noise from the stream. Yeah, we're taking our time this morning at 7 o'clock. We're just packing up right now. We've only got about 7 miles to do before we get down to the road and we get to the hostel. So looking forward to a day of relaxation, hopefully. And not too bad of a climb down there. Catch you later.
Miles and miles of the clear blue skies. We drive straight as a narrow flies. Nowhere to be, no dreams to chase tonight. We've got time to waste, let's waste it right. You and I, heads up in the clouds. We caught out with the birds flying south. Nothing to see as the day turns into night. We've got time to waste, let's waste it right. We got time to waste, let's waste it right.
Good morning. We're currently sat outside the hostel of Maine, waiting to be taken back to the trail. So we had a very relaxing day yesterday. We almost considered staying another night and slack packing today, but then we found out that they were going to charge us almost $100 to be taken to the trail, both today and then tomorrow when we have to go back. So that plus the cost of another night's stay, we were just like, nope, not gonna do that. So we're getting back out on trail. I think we're planning on doing 15 miles today, so we'll see how it goes. I've just accepted that, like, even days off, I never really can relax or feel well rested, so we'll see how today goes. I'm not feeling super well physically, and I didn't sleep very well, so fingers crossed that I can make it a good day with the full pack and everything. We'll see. So, catch you later.
There's a push and there's a pull. There's a new moon and then it's full. The tide will rise and rise until it falls. And there's a rhythm to it all. There's a you and there's a me. There's a pattern in the chaos, a current in the sea. And there are times I wish I had a mountaintop to see the rhythm of it all. Every spring leads to a fall, and there's a heart in every home. The young will always wish that they were older, and there's a rhythm to it all. There's a you and there's a me. There's a pattern in the chaos, a current in the sea. And there are times I wish I had a mountaintop to see the rhythm of it all.
Good evening. So we did not make it to the shelter. A little bit disappointing, but it was our own fault really, because we started late and because it was so humid. We just took so many breaks at the beginning of the day, so that really put us behind. So we fell about 4.5 miles short of the shelter, but it's all right, I think. So this bit of trail that we're doing is really the last major series of peaks that we're going to have to go through. So once we're finished with this tomorrow morning, it should be much smoother sailing from here on out. So hopefully things should go quicker. Yeah, we kind of have a rough itinerary of what we want to do the next few days. So hopefully we can actually meet that, even if we did fall short today. So yeah, we've just pitched up at this stealth site. We're sharing a tent again just because there's not that many good spaces. Also, it's a little eerie. Like, it's very dense, thick woods, and the fog is really like settling in. So I don't know, I think we'd prefer to share a tent tonight. So yeah, we're just gonna eat dinner. We've already put all our stuff away, so that's pretty much it. So hopefully tomorrow's better or more productive. Today wasn't a bad day. It was just a little disappointing that we didn't do as many miles, but it's okay. Yeah, so we'll catch you tomorrow. Bye. Hello, good evening. Just a quick update. So, yeah, basically today we are pushing big miles again. We are aiming for a 22-mile day, partially to make up for falling short yesterday. So we needed to tack that onto today, basically. So yeah, we've just been really pushing for that. We did get up a little bit later than we would have liked, and we still had to finish the Bigelows. So that kind of took up most of our morning. But it's funny because the first 6 miles of the day have, I think, twice as much elevation change as the remaining miles. So it is getting flatter, thank goodness. We have basically finished with any big mountains until Katahdin. So from now until then, it should be smoother sailing. So at the moment it is about 6:20 p.m. We have less than 4 miles to go. So hopefully we make it before it gets too dark. I just really don't like setting up at a shelter in the dark. I just feel like it's very disruptive to a lot of other people. And I don't know, I feel like I can get quite loud when I'm like unpacking and packing, so yeah. Tomorrow is going to be basically the next 2 days after today. We're also going to be pushing big miles because we'd like to get into Monson, either get into Monson on Tuesday evening or narrow in on Wednesday morning, just have a very short day. But basically we want to relax for as much of Wednesday as possible. So tomorrow is another big mile day. The shelter we're aiming for tonight is just less than 4 miles from the Kennebec River. And you've seen in my other video clips before all the stream crossings and such that we've had to do. But the Kennebec River is, it's downstream from a hydroelectric dam, and they periodically release water down the river every day. So it is very, very strongly suggested that you do not try to ford the river on your own or swim across the river, because you never know when the water is going to be released and the river level rises too much and it becomes too dangerous. So the ATC, because of that, the ATC has created a little ferry service across the river. We basically get in a boat and you are taken across. I don't think it's very large, but yeah, so that operates from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. every day in the summer. So we just have to get there before 9, maybe before 9. I'm sure there'll be other people lining up to go across the river too. But then once we do that, then we are free to continue tomorrow. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. It's a little bit of a unique way to cross the trail, so can't wait to see. But for now, I'm gonna keep walking. Yeah, I just really want to get to the shelter, so wish us luck. Okay, good morning, or afternoon. What time is it? Noon? Yeah. So we made it to the shelter last night, not without some difficulties. So we got in at about 8:30, and we had to kind of slow down towards the end of the day just because it was getting so dark, and also The trail was just full of rocks and roots and mud, so we really couldn't keep a consistent pace, and then trying to see through all of that in the dark made it really difficult. We had more or less the same this morning of rocks and roots and mud, but we eventually got to the Kennebec, crossed the river, and then once we did so, we were able to get a ride to the Sterling Inn, which was just a few miles down the road. So that was nice. We got some snacks and did a very light resupply just because they had some things that we hadn't seen before in the shop. And then they've dropped us back off. They picked us up and dropped us back off for free, even though we're not staying there. So that's very nice of them. So yeah, now we're going to continue on. We're aiming for... Basically, we've made a reservation for Shaw's hostel for tomorrow night. And we've got about 35-ish miles to do. So we're just going to see how far we can get today and then do the rest tomorrow. And then we will rest on Wednesday. So that's the plan. Let's get going. It is another cold, rainy, dreary morning today. We've already been walking for a few miles. So the goal today is to get to Shaw's, which is about 20 miles from where we started. Rather get there sooner than later because we're zeroing tomorrow, and it'll be nice to just chill tonight rather than just having to go straight to bed. So yeah, we've been kicking it up a notch these past few days, and I am absolutely exhausted. My feet hurt more than they have in weeks. This feels like when we first started walking, and like my feet were aching so badly. But yeah, now we're pushing 20 miles a day again, and yeah, it's nice to be able to massage them at the end of the day, but they just hurt so bad. I'm also just exhausted all the time. From having to wake up so early and just walking so many miles, but that's what we got to do. So I think one of the big reasons we were pushing so much was because we can catch up with Cutie, because he's been at Shaw's. He's actually been at Shaw's for a few days. So we got separated back when we decided to hang back and let the bad weather pass to let us summit Mount Washington. He decided to keep going. So ever since that point, we've been hiking separately. So it'll be nice to see him again and catch up. And yeah, another reason is just because we really wanted to take one last proper zero. And Shaw seemed like the best place to do it. It's also the last place to do it, really, because it's the last town before the 100-mile wilderness, and once you get through the 100-mile wilderness, Katahdin is right there. So yeah, our last zero, our last town stop. So it'll be nice to be able to get in tonight and try to enjoy it as much as we can tomorrow. So yeah, so far we've been just walking the past few days in rain and cloud. I think a lot of these summits that we've passed, on a clear day, you'd be able to see Katahdin, but we haven't been able to see her yet, so I'm just hoping at some point we'll have a really nice reveal of the mountain, because it'd be a shame if we went this whole way without actually being able to see it. And then also fingers crossed that like summit day is good weather too. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, we're gonna keep pushing. I think there's a few river crossings. I know there's quite a few after Monson. So I think whilst we're there, I'm going to stop by the ATC Visitor Center there, because they'll have updates on like what the water levels are meant to be. So it'll be good to know that information for when we continue on. But yeah, these are the last few days before stuff really gets turned up a notch. I'm not sure what our plan is through the 100-mile wilderness, but yeah, we'll see. Focus today is just getting to a nice warm bed, shower, all that stuff. So yeah, we'll catch you in Monson.
Could I believe in what my eyes cannot see? Or has the antidote to brokenness evaded me? Could I believe in what my ears have not heard? Or will the suffering that surrounds me have the final word? Even on the darkest nights I know the sun will rise. I will trust the promise I cannot see with my eyes. Even when the clouds surround, I know the sun still shines. But when will it break through? Jesus, I need you. Touched, or will the weight of disappointment apprehend my trust? Can I believe in what my mind cannot know? Or could the number of the stars contain my fragile hopes? Even on the darkest nights I know the sun will rise. Trust the promise I cannot see with my eyes. Even when the clouds surround, I know the sun still shines. But when will it break through? Jesus, I need you. When will it break through? Jesus, I need you. When will it break through? Jesus, I need you. I need you. I'll believe in what my eyes can't see, and I will trust you, Lord. I will trust you, Lord. I will make a sacrifice of praise and say that you are good. Yeah, you are good. I'll believe in what my eyes can't see, and I will trust you, Lord.
Hello, and welcome to our last zero day here at Shaw's in Monson, Maine. It feels very surreal to say that this is our last zero and our last town day before we summit Katahdin. I didn't think we were going to have this zero, but we pushed quite a few miles the past few days so that we could take this off. And I'm glad we did, because it's nice to get that last rest day. And it's also it's such a popular hostel. There's so many people here. So it's nice to reconvene with familiar faces, and it's kind of like a final send-off in a way, because unless people's paces are really crazy, chances are that if you don't leave together from here, you're not going to summit together and you're not going to see each other again, which is a little bittersweet, but that's the way of the trail, isn't it? So yeah, I think the general mood is a mix between the general mood of the hostel, from what I can feel, is like a mix of excitement and a lot of anticipation, but also like a bittersweetness. So you have all the people that are going northbound, and we're almost at the end of our journey. You have people that are flipping, so they're going up to Katahdin, and then they're flipping back and then going south. So this is just part of the way of their journey. And yeah, it's really interesting because obviously you bond with people a lot during this experience. You're all going through something very long and very difficult, and that's a bonding experience. And then you get to this point, and we're near the end, and I feel like it just draws people together even more. But a lot of people are very excited. They're kind of almost glad to be finished, done with the trail at this point. And then you've got people like us who just want it to keep going. We don't really know what we're going to do after, so there's no real incentive to want to race to the finish. But at the same time, you know, we knew we signed up for a trail that was a set number of miles. So why I'm shocked that those miles are coming to an end, I don't know, but I am, in a way. And yeah, it's just all a very strange feeling. There's a hiker logbook downstairs, and people have left all sorts of messages because obviously this is the last big stop before you finish. So there's a lot of really lovely messages in there, just how people have been feeling about their journey on the trail, whether they've changed in the ways they wanted to, whether they've reached the goals that they wanted to. And it's just really nice to kind of read back on those from prior years and this year, and just see the kind of journey everyone's been taking. So yeah, it all feels very strange. We will be leaving tomorrow to enter the 100-mile wilderness, where we've got a set number of days of food, so we kind of need to finish getting through that section in that amount of days. Once we're out of that section, then we will be in Baxter State Park, and we will summit Katahdin the following day. Yeah, I'm not going to say how many days of food we've allocated, just because, I don't know. I don't want to jinx it. I don't want people to be anticipating a certain date or anything. I just kind of want to take my time with it, really soak in the last bit of trail. We've planned a potential summit date, but then we also have a kind of final summit date, and those are separated by a few days, just in case the weather isn't great or we want to hold out for a better day to summit, because I really don't want to be in a rush or kind of hating the final day because of the weather or anything like that. So we'll see. I stopped by the visitor center yesterday here in town and kind of got the lowdown on the weather forecast for the next week, what the 100-mile wilderness is kind of going to look like. So there are like 2 big sections that have a lot of elevation change. So hopefully we can get through those easily, and then just coast our way to Katahdin from there. But yeah, my bag is quite heavy. I do have a lot of food packed in there. So I'm just hoping that A, I've packed enough food, and B, I can eat through it in a sustainable manner so that I'm not starving by the end of it, because I ate too much of it too quickly. So we'll see how it goes. I've heard from a lot of people that the 100-mile wilderness isn't actually as remote as it seems. So it's called that because there are no like public roads, there are no buildings or towns in the area, but we will have signal here and there. I think the tricky part for me is going to be managing to keep all of my electronics charged, especially my phone, because I need my phone to film. So I don't really want to deplete the battery on that too quickly and then not be able to film certain days. So I think I might do more of like a silent type vlog for the 100-mile wilderness, maybe minimal talking so that I don't ramble on too much like I'm doing here. and go through my battery as quickly as I normally do. So yeah, I think that will mostly be the challenge for us. We've opted not to do a resupply drop. So the hostel here will take food that you've bought. You basically buy the food in the shop, put it in a bucket, and then you pay them, I don't know how much it is, $50, $60, somewhere around there. You pay them the fee, and then they will come at some point to drop it off using one of the logging roads. So it's not a public road, it's a logging road. And they'll come and do the drop for you. So a lot of people have opted to do that. I wanted the challenge of not doing that, and I also didn't want to pay to do that. So that's why we're carrying all of our food at once, just to see if we can do it. I believe I can do it. It'll be the last big test of my bear can. So wish us luck. By the time you see this video, we will be in the 100-mile wilderness. I'm not sure, I won't be able to respond to comments or anything like that, so just keep us in your thoughts that everything goes well. I'm not really sure when the next video is going to come out that will cover the 100-mile wilderness, just because I'm thinking of our schedule and when I'll have time to edit and upload things, but I'll try my best. And yeah, I just feel a lot of feelings right now. I'm very excited. I'm very nervous. I feel a bit of anticipatory dread, a little bit of sadness, a little bit of fear for Katahdin itself, but I think it's normal to have all of these feelings, and so I'm just trying to remind myself of that. And yeah, I don't want to be too hard on myself. I really want to just soak in this last week. It might be nice not to really have that much signal, just really take the time to disconnect for this final week and just do a lot of reflecting. I think that's going to be my aim, is just to kind of really let myself sit within nature for one last week, because who knows when I'll get to do this again. But yeah, so I'll catch you next time from the 100-mile wilderness, and please wish us luck. Bye.